Right Hook. Number 1 for news, comment and opinion. Sponsored by VHI Healthcare. Number 1 for international medical insurance.
It's World Parkinson's Awareness Day. I'm delighted to welcome to the studio Shay Healy. Shay, welcome to the programme.
Thank you, George. Always a pleasure.
I don't have to tell anybody that you won the Eurovision Song Contest, but tell me again anyway.
It was 32 years ago, I think, in 1980. And people assume that I've won it several times since. If only.
If only.
If only. But the one time, it was nice. It was the 25th anniversary. March special, and then it qualified in the top 5 Eurovisions of all time.
Did really? That's what's another year.
Yeah, and
Johnny Logan.
Strangely enough, before Christmas I went off on tour with a guy called Don Mescal, and I couldn't hold the strings down a lot of the time because of the Parkinsons. So he said, "Look, I'll just play a simple guitar backing for you and just sing it." And I sang it kind of starkly, and when I was finished, people came up and said, "We never heard the song before. We've listened to it, but we never heard it." So I did it a couple of times, and then I did it this side of Christmas. I did a couple of shows in the Sugar Club, and did it again. And it just has the most electrifying effect on people.
Now, it's better really you than Johnny Logan, okay? That's a good one. But anyway, listen, I want to get on to Parkinson's, because it's World Parkinson's Awareness Day, and you are a sufferer and an ambassador. Tell me about it. Well, when did you first get it? 10
years ago.
And how did you find out? What happens? Like, what's the symptom?
Well, there's several things that can happen. I was detected I was writing a check for the doctor, and I said, "Neil, my writing is getting impossibly small." And he said, "Yeah, check." And he felt my wrist, and whatever they do, by feeling your wrist, they can tell.
Really?
And he said, "Yeah, Parkinson's." But before that, I remember one morning I went to shave, and I squirted out the shaving cream onto my hand, and my hand refused to go around. I had to pull the other hand and make it go around, and I thought, that's very odd. And that happened about twice, but I ignored it and just had just a little minor motor dysfunction, but nothing too serious. So the primary signs are that stiffness is a major one. Other things, the early stages, your left arm doesn't swing. Arms swing naturally when they walk, but your left arm doesn't swing. And I suppose just generally there's a malaise that settles on the whole body.
And what about, I mean, we're so far advanced now on drugs and stuff. Can drugs help?
Well, there hasn't been a new Parkinson's drug for 30 years, which shows you what a conundrum it is for the medics. And that they don't know. Every case is an individual case. They're no two the same. I'm not on the same medication as anybody I know in the same proportions. So what they're trying to do all the time is just to counterbalance the effects of the Parkinson with the drugs that are available. And they all have side effects. All the drugs do. And what's missing in our brain is dopamine, which, as you know, gives great pleasure when you see a nice looking girl.
The dopamine starts working over time. Have you no dopamine?
I have some, but it's depleted. And it doesn't regenerate.
All right, and is that part of the Parkinson?
That's part of the.
So that means you don't look at. You and I used to look at good-looking girls all the time. I remember.
You probably get a rush of dopamine when you look at the bums in a scrum now.
But what now? You've had it 10 years. Like, how is it affected? Because I mean, you're singing songs, playing guitars, going doing gigs. How is it affecting you?
Well, most of the time it feels like there's maybe 110 volts of electricity going through your body all the time.
Really?
Yeah, it's a slight trickly effect. Sometimes it gets quite exacerbated by tiredness and stuff, you know. It affects me mostly that I'm very sore and stiff in the mornings for a long time when I get up. And if you don't take your medicine, you talk about being off. And when you're off, it's a horrible feeling of being like a zombie. You can't move, you can't talk, you don't want to speak to anybody. They don't want to appear.
And how's Mrs. Healy bearing up?
She's bearing up admirably well. You know, she makes me do most things for myself, which is the best way to deal with it. If I've become a cripple or a patient and ruined, your head will slide at that point, so you have to hang on. and deal with it and recognise that it's going to keep going. It's not going to get any better.
But is it going to get worse?
It is going to get worse.
It is?
Yeah.
Oh.
Inevitably. And that's the psychological battle that you're fighting, you know. But a lot of people suffer badly from depression with it. Thankfully, I haven't, because I've kept writing funny songs and going out and singing funny songs and putting yourself out there and testing
You're
yourself.
a positive individual then, isn't that what you're saying?
I would say, yeah, probably. In the main, I've always been an optimist.
Yeah. And that's quite important.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of sound research that says with illness, in fact, your mental approach to it is very important.
Yeah. I think that's how people survive cancer for a long time.
Yeah. Now, what are we trying to achieve on World Parkinson's Awareness Day?
Well, we're trying to tell people that, for instance, in Ireland alone, Parkinson's is the second most common neurological complaint after Alzheimer's.
Right.
And there's 10,000 of us. There are only 19 neurologists in the whole country.
So we're short of neurologists.
We're short of neurologists, we're short of Parkinson's nurses, we're short of facilities for them. And just money to keep the Irish Parkinson's Association going. And there's a new organisation now called Move for Parkinson's. It's a charity. And we're trying to raise money so that the standard of care can be upped. But also to make people aware that people with Parkinson's do have difficulties. And even now, I've started to have minor falls. I fall up the stairs rather than down the stairs, you know. But I did have one little tumble down the stairs. And so your balance is not the main.
All right, okay. Listen, knowing you, because you write funny songs, you've probably written a song about Parkinson's, have you?
I haven't dared do that yet, but it's going around in my brain all right.
Okay. But have you got a song or a record that is in the charts at the moment to make up for Ding Dong, The Witch is Dead?
No, but we have a record that came out today and it's available on iTunes. It's Something Inside So Strong, a great song by Labby Sifrey. And it's sung by Niamh Kavanagh, who does the great honour of singing it for us.
My favourite Eurovision person, I have to say, Niamh Kavanagh.
Her song was In Your Eyes, was one of the best songs.
Yeah, and what's the name of that song again?
In Your Eyes.
No, I know that, but your one.
Something Inside So Strong. Something inside so strong. I know that I can make it. A very inspirational song.
And you've written it?
No, I didn't. It was recorded about maybe 15 years ago by a guy called Labby Sifrey. He was a protege of Cliff Richard, I think. And
Niamh is singing it now?
Niamh is singing it now because
on iTunes.
The Move for Parkinson people, they started a choir, which is brilliant because for Parkinson people, music, it's healing balm. So they gather and have rehearsals.
All right. So are we helping Parkinson's if we download this, are we? No, I mean, are we helping the charity?
Yeah, absolutely. 99 cents for the download.
Okay, why don't we have a listen to some of it?
Well, I don't mind that.
Yeah, have a listen.
The higher you build your barriers, the taller I become. And the further you take my rights away, the faster I will run. You can deny me, you can...
I think she's a great voice.
She's a great voice, and the Glór choir is on there as well, and then the Parkinson choir, and the Garda band.
Oh yeah, it's a great fella leads the Garda band.
Well, they did a great job on that.
All right. So listen, keep well, won't you?
I will, George.
And keep the spirits high.
You keep coming in, calling me, have me come in here and talk to you. Actually, there's something, I don't know if you've noticed, my voice gets a bit strangulated and I get a bit of a stutter when I come under pressure now.
But yeah, we can understand you perfectly.
But I can feel it inside me.
Oh, I know what you mean, yeah. Yeah.
Don't let that stop anything.
Don't let it get to you, like, you know.
No. And I've loads of things going on. If people want to look at my website, it's just shayhealy.com, and they'll see all the things, the queer things I'm up to.
Oh, great. Okay, all the gigs and everything.
The gigs.
Give us a few bars from the old Eurovision again.
What's another year to someone who's lost everything that he owns? And what's another year to someone who's getting used to being alone? I've been crying such a long time, with such a lot of pain in every tear. What's another year? What's another year?
You can hit the high notes and everything. God, you're a star. Do we have to pay royalty rights for that bit there now?
Yeah,
to you?
99 cents, yeah. Download it later tonight.
Shay Healy, a star always. And remember, it's World Parkinson's Awareness Day. Get to iTunes for Niamh Kavanagh there and download it. And my guest, as always, a battler. He was when I first met him 50 years ago, and he remains a battler. Stay with me. We're going to talk about measles before Bill Hughes pops in to tell me a new series, but a song that he sees as an essential song of the 20th century.
The Right Hook. Number 1 for news, comment and opinion. Sponsored by VHI Healthcare. Number 1 for international medical insurance.